Bonjour les élèves. This lesson is going to talk about our newest irregular verb, the verb aller, and a new tense that goes along with the verb aller. Okay, so first of all, the verb aller. Aller is an irregular verb. It means to go, and since it is irregular, there is a different form that goes with each subject. So even though it ends in the letters ER, it is not conjugated like a regular ER verb. And I think that's very important for you to make sure that you understand, because people make mistakes all the time with that. Aller is not a regular ER verb. Okay, so I'm going to go through and fill in all of our forms of the irregular verb aller. If we want to say I go, or I think this is important to note, I am going is the same way. You use the same thing to say I go as you do I am going. It's je vais. So that's V-A-I-S. To say you go, tu vas. V-A-S. To say he goes or she goes or one goes, or he is going or she is going, il, elle, va. Nous allons for we go or we are going. And with nous allons, I want you to notice that it is actually kind of conjugated like an ER verb where you have the A-L-L stem and then the O-N-S. Vous allez for you all go or you all are going. And then ils or elles vont. So actually, if you take a look at this, if we were to write this in our regular verb charts that we usually do, it could actually be considered to be a Snoopy verb because only the nous and the vous form look like the infinitive. All of the other forms start with the letter V. So if you'd rather write this verb chart in your notes the way we typically do and draw Snoopy, that might help you to remember the forms of the verb aller. Okay, continuing on. Aller is used in expressions that we've already learned to say, to ask how someone is doing. Ça va, if you remember, or comment allez-vous. Both of those expressions, we're literally saying, how's it going, or how are you going? Okay, now let's talk about how we will use the verb aller to talk about things that are not occurring now, but are going to happen, or going to occur. So when you're going to talk about what someone is going to do in the future, you're going to use the present tense of the form of the verb aller plus the infinitive of what action is going to take place in the future. So if you look at this example, je vais travailler ce soir. I have the present tense form of aller, vais, in front of the infinitive travailler. Literally translated, I am going to work this evening. It really follows a lot like what we do en anglais. If you have a negative sentence where you're going to talk about what is going to occur in the future, those two words that we always have in our negative sentences, ne and pas, are going to surround the first verb or the form of the verb aller. So if I'm not going to work this evening, it would be je ne vais pas travailler ce soir. You can see ne and pas act as parentheses around the verb aller, or the conjugated verb in the statement, in the sentence. Okay, so for some really good practice, what I would like for you to do in your notes is take these sentences. We are going to the cafe. They go with their friends. I am not going to study. You are going to go at 3. And I would like for you to pause the video for a second, translate those. That fourth one should say you're going to go at 3. Then play the video and I'll go through the answers with you. But for some really good practice, try it on your own and then pause the video and check your answers. Okay, so if you've gone through these now, I'm going to go through and show you what you should have written if you did put these in the, and if you did translate these into French. Okay, so for this one to say we are going to the cafe, you would say the subject would be nous. Then we're going to say are going to the cafe, which would just be allons. You don't have to translate for the word are, just nous allons, and then au café, to the cafe. To say they go with their friends, could be il pluriel or elles vont for go avec leurs amis. And that ami could have the E on it or doesn't have to. I'm not going to study. Here's a negative sentence where you're talking about something that's going to occur in the future. You would say je ne vais pas. See, ne and pas around our conjugated verb. And then the infinitive, to study, étudier. You are going to go. Let's pretend that this says to go. You are going to go at 3. Tu vas aller. Now don't let this throw you that there's a conjugated form of the verb aller and the infinitive. We did this in English all the time. I'm going to go. We are not going to go. They are going to go. And we use go and to go in a sentence. This is the same thing. Going is something that's going to happen in the future. So you have your conjugated form of aller and then the infinitive. And then at 3 o'clock would be à 3 heures. Okay. So that does it with the verb aller. So now, this is kind of exciting. We don't have to just talk about what we're doing now, but what we are going to do. Au revoir les élèves.